Welcome to the Fated Friends podcast, a podcast that is born from a playground meet-cute, forged through a love of romantasy, and cultivated through after dark deep dives. Hello, Emma.
Hello, Veronica.
I'm so excited.
We're back.
Yes.
Can you tell the story of what happened to you?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm dying about this and also feel like it's a PSA
Yes.
that we need to share.
My car was stolen.
Oh my God.
From the front of our house one night on a Sunday night, and we woke up on Monday morning and it was gone, and my 4-year-old was the one who discovered it. And
Really?
Yes, and we thought he was like playing a game like of hide and seek, and so we were like, oh, remember, mommy's car is on the street and daddy's is in the driveway. He goes, oh, okay, and then we all laugh. Then we all go downstairs and my husband is like, wait, but actually, where is your car? And it turns out the keys were in the car.
Monday morning, you have been through an entire Monday morning with your kids, getting everyone everything. Yep. You go outside, ready to go to...
Not even. It's like, we're all going to go downstairs to eat breakfast.
Oh, really? That's when it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
6:30 in the morning.
Oh, my God.
And it was like, it was so weird just in terms of the experience of that. Like, as soon as I literally saw my car was not there, my heart, like, dropped out of my body. That's what it felt like. I've only had like 2 panic attacks in my life. I'm like, oh no, the one is going to come on right in front of my small children. But then thank goodness for small children, because my 4-year-old is like, oh, mommy, I know what happened. The big hungry bear took it and he's getting some strawberries. Yes. 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 I'm going to go with that. And it immediately calmed me, and I was able to kind of engage in it as if it were play, even though it wasn't. But like, it just helped me compartmentalize it in that moment.
Yeah, because it's so frustrating and
scary, violating.
So violating to think that somebody did that in front of your house. But then you also have to be really strong for your kids, because that's so scary for them. Their car seats are taken. Right.
But it's also like, there's such caution too on my part. I don't want to scare them. Yeah. I don't want them to be afraid. I want them to be aware, but like a 2 and a 4-year-old do not need to be sat down and said and told, mommy's car was stolen by thieves, bad people.
And we're very upset about it.
And it's terrifying, and you should be scared, and you should never leave the house, and blah, blah. And it's like, okay, if they were 16 and 14 and this happened, like, that is then a lesson of what not to do, both as, a stupid young person, but also as me. Like me, I should have checked to make sure the keys were in my bag. I should have checked to make sure, you know how cars these days, you just like touch the door handle and it will lock?
Oh, do you have like even like a keyless?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't even have to put it in.
No, so I remember I put my bag on my shoulder, I closed my driver's door, and then I just brushed my thumb over the handle. And I just imagined that it did the little like locked.
Of course.
And walked away.
Yeah. Because you do it every single day.
Exactly. And and sometimes, to be honest, because our neighborhood and our town is generally so safe, there have been times where I've left my keys in my car knowing that, well, I'm going to be back in like 9 hours, because it's
100%.
late and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that was stupid and foolish, and I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah. So you had to wait a whole week before?
Yeah. So what happened is one of our neighbors, his wallet got stolen because his car was unlocked.
Oh my God. So they were like targeting your street.
Yeah. They were like checking handles.
Yeah.
Door handles of cars. And then I'm pretty sure they just pushed the start button. Like, is the key also in there? And that happened to me. And so they drove off with somebody's wallet and a car, and they went around to different Nike stores.
Is that what they did?
Yes, trying to buy Nikes, and then apparently they abandoned my car at the end of a very, very long dead-end road, right? I've not been there.
Oh, you didn't go there?
Julian did, or Andrew did.
Andrew went and like just picked it up and brought it home.
Right.
That's so funny.
If we had let
the police like take it, it would have taken forever.
Not just that, but we would have had to pay for that tow.
Oh, God.
So it's like, why would I pay $250 for?
Of course not. When you can like just go
drive
grab it
like a couple miles.
Wait, so they like rode their bikes there?
Who?
Andrew and Julian?
No. This was in the middle. So I get the call on like Sunday, the following Sunday night at like 9:30 at night, the police call and they're like, we have found your car. And Andrew was planning to drive home from where we were. We were doing like a long weekend for Memorial Day with his parents. And he was going to drive back that night anyway because he had to work on Monday. And so we get the call. It kind of changes our plans. And he's like, okay, well, why don't I drive home? We still have one of the keys and I'll drive it home. And I'm like, well, how? It's a couple miles away from the house. I don't want you to like walk at midnight.
Yeah.
Even though our town is generally safe. Like,
it's still really annoying.
Yeah.
And also there's coyotes.
There are coyotes. Yeah. But thankfully the police officer was like, well, if you can walk to the station, an officer will drive you.
Oh, that's so nice.
So that's what he did. He went home. It's like a, I don't know, 8-minute walk to the police station. And then they drove him to the car. He would have left it there, but the officers weren't able to lock the car because there was no key because it's keyless entry.
Yeah.
And of course, Andrew was like, great, so that our car can be broken into again? No, thank you. So he drove it home. And then we got it cleaned from top to bottom. That place that's on Main Street is really good if you ever need your car cleaned.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I do that.
You do?
I drop it off there all the time. That's like my spot.
Oh, sure, because of the dog hair and Cheerio crumbs. And
I think dealing your car is like such a nice little treat for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it on a Friday.
I love that. I want to do it like once a season.
Absolutely. Yeah, makes it so fresh. And then don't do it like I'm never going to do it again.
Yeah.
Make it a habit.
Maintain it.
Yeah, so if it gets a little messy, it's like, fine, I'm going to do this again in a couple months.
Yeah. I like that. I actually determined in therapy today that my safe place is my nice, clean, quiet car.
I know it is. I know. That's why this did feel so sad and violating when you told me the story. And then the whole week that it was gone, I was just feeling so badly for you. Yeah. And all the insurance of it, where they're like, no, it needs to be stolen for 30 days before we would
cover anything.
You don't even get like a rental car.
Thankfully that.
Okay, you did get that.
But it was definitely like,
every 3 days you have to call back and be like,
one person said that, online said something else. Who's telling the truth? But yeah, in the end, they gave us a rental car and car seats and.
Oh, nice. So you got car seats.
We got car seats.
Yeah.
But then it was like, all right, just a weird logistical mess.
But then it's like, so I just assumed it's like true car thieves and they're going to like sell your car or do something crazy. And what it truly was likely a high schooler who goes around. This is the end of the school year prank that they like to do for fun.
Probably.
And just drive it around, apparently go to Nike stores and then leave it somewhere.
Yes. Clearly they're from our town because why would they drive it back to our town?
Right.
They could have abandoned it somewhere else.
They had to walk home.
Yeah.
Or
probably.
I guess get a friend to
Maybe
pick
they
them
live
up.
on that street. I'm not going to name it.
But then it's like, it's parked on this street. You know, maybe the cops aren't looking super hard for it.
No, they're not.
I wasn't thinking like, oh, let's just like drive around. I should have. Like we should have just been looking
like
on the
a search
streets.
party.
Yeah, but it was because the neighbors called and they were like, why is this car parked on our street all the time?
So Andrew got the story that next to where it was parked is a rental. I think it's like a multi-family home. And so many cars are there because of the tenants. And the person who lived next to this house called the landlord and was like, hey, can you please tell your tenants not to park their car this close to my property because I can't get out, or I don't know, it impeded something. And the landlord was like, that car doesn't belong to any of my tenants. So then the guy called the police and was like, hey, I found out that this car doesn't belong to anybody on the street. Can you take a look? And they ran the plates and it was my car.
Yeah, amazing.
But his car got taken.
Whose car?
The guy who called. They left my car
and then took his car?
Yes. And they actually used it for the week.
I'm dying. Yeah. I'm so sorry I laughed at that because that is such a tragedy.
But it's just ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. And I'm so mad we have not caught this person, this high schooler.
These people who at least have seen enough crime shows to wipe down their guilty fingerprints.
They wiped it down.
Yeah, with like a nasty bleach wipe. So it was like, oh, I made it all gross. Thank goodness for car detailing.
Was your car trashed?
No, thankfully. But they left behind some of their stuff. Like somebody left behind a watch that belonged to me. why did you take your watch off? And
Well, right. It was probably stolen.
maybe.
Just more evidence of crime.
Yeah, they're just leaving little breadcrumb trails. I don't know. But
so they took this neighbor's car for a week?
Mm-hmm. And when
did he find his car?
The police ended up finding his car, but it was in a totally different town. But it was full of stuff like gym bags and sports clothes and random sneakers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's not a high school student. Maybe it is just like an adult pranker.
It could be, or it could have been a high schooler. I mean, if a 17-year-old kid steals a car and they want to like look cool for a week with friends, what are they going to do with a mom car that has 2 toddler car seats in the back, right?
I can't imagine opening the door and seeing car seats and being like, still, I'm going to do this.
I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
This is viable.
This is a good idea.
Yeah. At least I know how to wipe down my prints. It's like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God. That was the worst. But like, honestly, like PSA for everyone. If you are someone like us who sometimes doesn't
if you live
lock
in a
your
town,
doors,
where you like trust you're in a safe neighborhood, like, okay, but don't be dumb.
Don't be dumb, because it's not just like your
Or
neighbors
perilous,
walking
I should
around.
say. Yeah.
It's apparently
People
crazies.
Just silly
full of pranks.
Pranksters, as we call them at our house. We're not going to call them thieves because that's a whole Pandora's box. But pranksters who think it's funny to take people's cars and drive them around.
And like ruin your everyday drop off, your pickup.
Nightmare. Nightmare. You know what, though? Here's the thing. One of the interesting things that I learned. The number of people who like projected their own fears and anxieties and maladaptive thought processes onto me and Andrew, being like, oh my gosh, you must be beside yourself. How can you function? And I'm just looking at them like, I have to function. What are you talking about? Like,
I'm sorry, I might have been one of those people.
No, you weren't. You weren't. You were a very supportive person, and you were very empathetic. But there was, or people, who are like, I tell them what happened, and literally the first thing out of their mouth is, it's in a chop shop. They've stripped it. They've burned it. It's been totaled. And I'm like, why are you saying these things to me? That's horrible. I hope that's not what happened. And in the end, I just like let them say whatever they want to say, because they're just expressing, I'm thinking what they would think if it happened to them. But it's just wild.
Yeah. It's just like, you never think this is going to happen. And the freaking police saying, this is very common. Yeah. Well, can you make it stop?
Yeah. How can you make it stop? Should there not be but I guess like as soon as there are regular police patrols, I think it just puts everybody on edge.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that was Sunday to Sunday.
Sunday to Sunday. Yeah. I mean, an amazing ending.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. My friend I lent her a Court of Silver Flames. When I told her about it, she was like, she listened and was like super supportive. And she's like, I don't want to sound crazy or insensitive here, but I have this feeling that it's going to work out fine.
That's great.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Yes, I do too. Like, I should have maybe been panicking more or feeling a certain way, but I was just kind of like, okay, this happened. I'm in a process letting go of this car. What can I do? Maybe it's because in the past, like as a kid, my whole home was burglarized. Thankfully, we were not in the home. When I was like 8. And then one time in college, my family and I drove up to Canada and we parked our car to get food at this restaurant that's really well known, but it was in a seedier part of where we were staying, and the car got broken into and everything was stolen. So having had past experiences of like some sort of personal belonging violation, I guess I've had practice.
Yeah, there's the resilience. And Julian's going to have this now.
I hope so.
Yeah. He's going to be like, well, the bear came and had the strawberries.
And he brought it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay.
We survived.
Yeah. It's all good.
Well, I'm sorry to bring it up, but
I
thought it was like the biggest news.
It is big news. It is big news for this little town. Especially because when I would tell people, they'd be like, oh my God, I heard about this. You were one of the 2 cars? Or like, I was at a barbecue. And like someone, it's like, it's
I told everyone.
Yeah, like the small town talk.
Yeah. Well, I was like, lock your doors.
Yes.
And also be on the lookout. This kind of car.
Yes. It looks like this.
It's very nice.
There's the license plate. Yeah, I'm sure they were like, sweet. And then they look in the back seat like,
oh, none of our friends can sit there.
Exactly. If they had only known, there's a hidden third row.
Okay, so what are we doing tonight?
Okay. We are finishing up. We're doing the second half of A Court of Silver Flames. I would say this book is a beast, and we could talk about so many different things.
But we didn't really get into Gwyn or Emery, the Valkyrie.
The Valkyrie. I love that. Would you want to be a Valkyrie?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Their superpower is peace and calm.
I know.
Yeah.
Mind stilling.
I feel like you are a Valkyrie.
Oh my gosh. I am honored. I was, I have this rule about tattooing. Like I really want to tattoo, but I've never been able to pick something because my rule is if I want it for more than 2.5 years, then I'm going to get it. And the phrase is, I am the rock upon which the surf crashes.
I love that phrase.
I love it. But I just don't know where I would put it on my body.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't have to.
That's true. I could get a temporary tattoo.
You should, I think you should write it somewhere and see how you like it. Just write it in pen.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like full on middle school.
Yeah.
Like, write it on my body with a pen.
Absolutely. I've had a tattoo removed, so I'm kind of like, think about it. I mean, not to say that I don't think that's like a great tattoo or would be beautiful.
Yes,
and I think script tattoos are gorgeous.
Are beautiful. Mm-hmm.
And also that phrase is kind of just everything.
So talk about resiliency, right? Yes.
And it's just something nice if it is on your body to look at in times of stress or worry or something,
right.
To be like, okay,
I
got
am the
this.
rock.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like just Valkyrie culture. And like, I love that these women resurrected this culture because this group of the Valkyries basically are extinct, right? They all self-sacrificed in order for the rest of Fae-kind to continue on. It's tragic.
It is tragic. And I loved how when they were discovering it, was it from the library or there were books on it or something?
Yeah, like Gwen looked it up and she was the one who introduced mind stilling to Nesta. But I also love, this is one of the benefits of these characters we love being like half a millennia old. Cassian is just like, oh yeah, I knew the Valkyrie.
Right. Yeah. I know. That part is fun.
Yeah. And Mor is like, yeah, I knew them too. I fought with them. And I love that Mor is also kind of like testing Nesta. Like, are you as good as them? I don't know. Poke at the anger, try to make it blossom into something productive, you know? I thought that was really cool. And two, that the Valkyrie are reborn through a group of women who are deeply traumatized.
Yeah.
You know?
I know the Gwyn and Emery stories were kind of horrific.
Yeah, they are horrific. Having all of that pain and murder and gore just right in front of your eyes. And then Emery her wings being cut. Mm-hmm. Do you wish that it would be healed somehow?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is another thing where like I feel like this team needs some medical doctors at hospital college. Like, we could use that in this book.
Seriously.
Extra magic.
Yeah, a little more.
Yeah, like why can't we heal wings?
Heal wings in performance section. I don't know. But
I thought it was like a little wild how... Okay, so I did see a lot of similarities between when Nesta and Cassian realize that they are mates. Mm-hmm. And Nesta gets so mad at Cassian.
Yes.
Just like Feyre got so mad at Rhys.
Yes.
Like, I don't know everyone's so mad.
Is it a sister thing? Are they just like feminine rage sisters and they just have to be mad about something important?
I know.
And to process it?
Yeah, so she's so mad about that. Makes Gwyn and Emery come over for a sleepover. It's like the first time. I love the sleepover. But it's like, it's the first time one of them has ever left the library to go support Nesta being mad at her boyfriend seeing their mates.
Right. It's so funny. Yeah, like literally a girl sleepover
is what draws her out after. But I guess it's like she didn't have a friend.
Yeah, like none of them. Gwyn didn't feel like she deserved anyone's friendship. Emery is like enmeshed in a society where like women are second-class citizens, and Nesta shits on anybody who tries to come close to her. So it's like, it is a really important moment and an experience for all three of them. And it has, spoiler alert, does an important thing of creating the bracelets that allow them to find each other later.
I kind of love the friendship bracelet. I know they're like...
I want to make some.
I know. Like, they're, I guess, like a little... chooky.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a little like, oh, you guys made friendship bracelets, but then I'm obsessed with them.
Yes.
Because they become their power and they connect them and they're so important.
There's an importance, I think, too, to like healing through childlike activity. Like, I don't know, not to get too psychological.
Do you feel like play therapy?
Play therapy and like the importance of like experiencing something that is so deeply childlike as an adult and like purifying it, like I think of maybe when you were, I don't know, did you ever do sleepaway camp?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
Did you do it?
I did.
Yeah. I've heard great things.
Yeah, I had a great time. But imagine like if you didn't have a good time, you had a horrible time at sleepaway camp, and part of that, experience was bracelet making or whatever. If you then make a group of incredible friends in adulthood or later in your life, and you propose the activity, I feel like it's a very healing act to be like, I'm not going to let what happened when I was 12 define this experience. I'm going to redefine it and make it something else, something that I feel really good about. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I like that things that could be considered kind of more feminine or something like that are actually what led them to win everything.
Yeah, girly. How do you feel about Nesta not being a Corinthian? She's an Aristian.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, remember? They're named after the 3 mountains, 3 stars.
Yeah.
If you're a Corinthian, you've like touched the stone and you get like sent back.
Oh, you mean because she let them go?
Yes.
And
to
touch
win.
the stone, and then she stays back to go battle the brother.
Yeah.
Or is it the cousin
guy,
or something?
Bellius.
Yes, Bellius. But he's actually like being controlled by no, I actually thought that was perfect and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I loved that she didn't even care. Like
that's a good point.
Yeah, like they were now they're the top of the top, and these were Emery and Gwyn were people who all of the Illyrians thought they were like really, nothing really lame.
Especially Emery. Like what a like kick to the balls, right?
Yeah, and now you're like the best of the best.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And they won through teamwork, not killing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nesta didn't even need it.
No, which is also how Cassian, Azrael, and Rhysand won it. They helped each other. They found each other. And I like that Nesta, Emery, and Gwyn found each other. And I think, kind of full circle. Sorry, my brain is like going at 1,000 miles.
No, I love it.
Full circle. Nesta's like, ew, Rhysand, you suck. But then she ends up doing the thing, being the person that brings these 2 other women together, uniting the 3 of them to win this thing. And that's what Rhysand did. So she's more similar to the person that she dislikes.
And okay, so I actually loved with Nesta kind of hating Rhysand. How she comes around that.
Oh, yeah.
And how, she really wants to be working together and in the fold, which is so different than how she was in the very beginning, where she's just like contrary to be contrary.
Yes.
And she actually hands or gives Feyre and Rhys, I think it's a dagger. Because she made 3 maid items. Or she made 3 weapons, right?
Yeah, or 2. The sword, the dagger. Did she make 3?
Was it 2? Or was it 3?
I think it was 2.
Just 2, okay.
But there are 3 things for her to be...
To go find the trove.
The trove.
Yeah.
I almost called it the dread trove, but that's not right. Is it?
I don't know.
The trove.
I read this a month ago.
Yeah.
Anyways... But yeah, like I loved how, this is a very special dagger.
Yes.
This is something
she made it. Capital M.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you put your magic into it. It's just for you. And it's like so powerful. And she just gives it to Rhys to do as he wants.
Right. Yeah. She doesn't want it. Like she's not power hungry.
And she wants to align with them. Like she wants, this is like, we're a team. This is for you.
I see what you're saying. It's like her form of being like, okay, all right, I'm putting the fight down. And as much as I don't really want you to be my High Lord, here is my show of deference.
Absolutely.
I'm letting you be the leader.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm a part of this with you.
Yes.
Yeah. I think she fully showed her hand in that because like to give something so powerful and then Reese gives it to Eris.
Oh, I know. She's like, what the? But he's crafty. I think there's something going on in that mind of his that we don't know yet.
What did you think of the dancing?
I like that scene.
The ball.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked the lore, the Nesta lore of when she was 14. She's such a competitive bitch that she got a man to propose to her instead of her rival at the age of 14.
Yeah, just because.
Just because she's a better fucking dancer and like it kills it with her probably like bedroom eyes.
In some ways, I thought that scene was kind of funny and
silly or cringe or.
I mean, who is that good at dancing to get Eris to be like, I have to marry her. Like, this is amazing. It makes me think that maybe she's a little bit more magic in other ways. And it was like almost like a not intoxicating,
like
but
an enchantment.
And an enchantment, a hypnotic.
Or like a thrall.
What's a thrall? What's that word?
A thrall. It's what Dracula does to young girls. Like he kind of like looks at them in the eyes, and then they go all glassy eyed, and they like he gains control over them.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. No, I get it that a beautiful woman dancing at you, apparently in these medieval times or whatever we're in, immediately you would be like, hand in marriage. Sounds great. But
give her to me.
Yes. And I mean, I think Eris did say, like, I would love that this would like piss off Cashin.
Yes.
But I did think that there might have been something a little bit more, magical about that.
Probably. I love that Elaine talks about it too. She's like, oh my God, you don't know this story? Let me tell you the tea. It's so cute. I like that scene. And then I like that Cassian cuts in and reveals that he's been practicing dancing because he knows Nesta's a good dancer. And he wants to at least, stand up to it, not trip over his feet. I think it's sweet.
Yeah, I love that they have their artistic things. And you as a dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you relate to this?
A little bit. Yeah, I do. I'm not a performative dancer. I like to dance, but I could never be like, I'm not Nesta.
There was one more thing with the kind of, are you an enchantress? Are you maybe a witch?
Yes.
With all of this. During the Kelpie scene, right before that happened, I think Nesta mentions her mom said, we learned that Kelpies are, really scary creatures that take humans under and eat them and stuff. Take them under a bog or under a lake or something. Yes. And there is a mention of Nesta's mom saying, like, I need my children to know how to swim because a relative of mine was taken.
I don't remember that.
And it was taken by one of the Fae.
Oh.
And so she always had like that deep,
maybe she like
kind of hatred for the Fae.
Mistook a Kelpie for a Fae.
That's what I think. And then Kelpie are known to be from such old times that it makes me think that was because we don't know anything about Feyre's mom, right? Or do we? Do we know from the other books?
No.
Yeah.
No, she's just mother.
Right. So there's something there.
Absolutely.
And now I think that because there's something about these special sisters.
Yes. I've heard really cool theories. Spoiler for Throne of Glass series. Have you met men on?
Yeah.
Oh, you have. Mm-hmm. That Feyre, Nesta, and Elaine's mother may have been a witch.
No, I subscribe to that quite a bit.
That would be cool. Although it's like sad that she would then succumb to a fever. But maybe she gives up her immortality and that's what happens.
Yeah.
Or right, they're as close to immortal as they can be. They live 1,000 years or something. But I mean, I hear what you're saying and I like what you're saying that maybe S.J. Maas is planting some breadcrumbs about who Mother is and like what her past is and is that going to be unfolded? That would be cool.
Oh, I had a side question for you because I was trying to look up what atraxia meant because kind of the name of atraxia is a little because Lanthus is
he makes fun of it.
Yeah, you would name your sword Atraxia.
Yeah.
And then I kind of forgot what it stands for.
Inner peace.
Inner peace. Yes. Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
But I was looking up on some like fandom website and I skimmed too far, Veronica.
No.
And I got to something from House of Wind and what is
House of Flame and Shadow.
Flame and Shadow.
The third one.
Is Nesta in that? What? So exciting. Is it? Are they all in it?
No.
It's just Nesta?
Not quite. There is you get like some main character. But
wow.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, because I knew that the whole idea is like you really need to read ACOTAR fully before you get into Crescent City books.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You do not have to have read ACOTAR or Crescent City for Throne of Glass. That can pretty much stand on its own.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can start it now because I finished all of them.
Yes.
Well, I haven't finished Throne of Glass, but you just said it's okay.
Yeah, it's totally okay.
Yeah, so now I can do Crescent City.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But how do you feel about Sarah J Maas's storytelling here about getting a reader to love and to root for a character that's been hard to love at this point? Because, like, how did you feel about Nesta at the beginning, and then how did you feel about her at the end?
Well, it was really nice to see the inside of her head.
Yes.
Because we didn't have that. We just saw the cold steel.
Exactly. And Feyre being like, I think this is what's happening, but I don't know because she won't let me in.
She won't let me in. And it's like the kind of sister fight where you know the exact meanest thing you could say. Like the absolute worst thing you could say. And you're just going to say it.
Oh, I want to know. Okay. How do sisters do that and then forgive each other?
I mean, at some point, you can't. I mean,
there's like a line.
There's a line.
Do you all know that there's a line?
I think you grow up and realize that it's like I think that's why siblings can be great because you do learn a lot about human interaction from your siblings.
Yes.
And how far to push. And
okay.
So I think you do get like a lot of like your weird fighting out with your siblings.
I totally get that. Now, I don't mean to make this about me because I want to hear more about like sister relationships. But Andrew says all the time, not all the time anymore, but he used to say that he can absolutely tell that I did not grow up with siblings close to my age.
Oh, really?
Because he'll say something that I think is like mean or annoying or gets under my skin. And so I will say something back and he's like, no, that was too far. And I'm like, well, how do you know? Because the way you made me felt like this. So I responded in kind. And he's like, no. There are tiers. I said this. This is like a 3 out of 4. You said this in return. That's like a 7 out of 4. Like that was way over. And I'm like, well, how do you know? He said, because I had siblings and we just tested it out all the time. Like, well, what makes you the authority? But yeah.
Well, didn't he have all brothers?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like brothers are different. I don't know anything about brothers.
No, but it is that thing of like, how far do you push?
Yeah. You
know the worst thing to say, but do you say the third worst thing so that you're not actually crossing that line?
Yeah. I mean, at some point you just have to stop doing it. That's why I feel like Nesta was very triggering for me because I was like, I know this kind of sister.
Do you have this kind of sister?
Well, I know that mood that sister could be in.
I see.
I've seen that mood before.
I see. Is your mom a sister? Like, does she have sisters? Okay. My mom has 3 sisters.
Oh, wow.
And it's fascinating. It's terrifying. Like, the way that they both can turn on each other and also absolutely gang up on one person together at the drop of a hat is so scary to me.
So scary. And that's kind of what happened here with Elaine and Feyre. I think that was why it was so knife to Nesta's heart and so damaging because Elaine was her number 1 and then Elaine switched over to Feyre and that really hurt.
Yeah. Elaine, I want to now go into Elaine's head. Everybody wants to go into Elaine's head because she's definitely more than meets the eye.
Yeah, there was not enough Elaine in this book, but there was more. I feel like there was more glimmers of her than we've seen before.
And not enough more. I want the more again. I want more.
I know. We need way more Morgan.
Mm-hmm. You read Court of Frost and Starlight?
Yeah, but I didn't reread it for our whole.
No, yeah.
I read it once when I was reading the series, and then I haven't read it again because we didn't do it for this podcast.
That's right. It's like a novella, but there is a scene. There's a right her perspective where she goes to her estate with the horses. It's intriguing. It's another little thing, little breadcrumb trail that Sarah J Maas is leaving that she could be like, this could be something. Not going to tell you what though.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that there are more. You know, I would never want her to be like, and that's it. I'm all done. ACOTAR is finished. I kind of felt like it was with A Court of Silver Flames. Just because, you know, we don't know we don't know when the next one is coming out, but I love the idea that the characters come back in Crescent City.
Yes.
And that there could be, and I think she put on her Instagram, right, that she was writing the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like a year ago. Which, like, again, I know we've talked about this, but the impatience around her producing something when the consumer wants it, I find it so annoying. Like, let her be her process. There are so many other books out there that are good to read.
She's got a lot of loose threads and things to push together. So,
Are you reading anything good right now?
I started rereading When the Moon Hatched, which was wonderful.
Yeah,
because I thought we might be doing it for this, which I hope
which we
do.
can. We should.
Yeah, and oh god, the beginning of that book is so good.
It's so good
because it all ties into the end, and then you're like, oh.
I have questions about it. Like, now I want to talk to you about it.
I know. Well, we can save it, but and it's also a beast. It's so long.
It's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend that one. Like, that's the first. So I read all the ACOTARs, and then I read halfway through TOG, and it was Throne of Glass, and it was so good. And I was like, I don't want to finish all of them because, like, I want to savor this a little bit. So I took a break, and this is when I was.
And that's when we started the podcast.
And did I just finish When the Moon Hatched?
Yes.
Yeah. And I read that, and it didn't even take me that long. It took me like a week because I was just like,
Eat it all up.
Well, I was also just like sitting in bed breastfeeding.
This is true. You had all the time.
All the time. Yeah, I had no idea it was that long. But.
Yeah, when a book is that good, like, you could read 700 pages in nothing.
Oh, you know the other one I'm reading right now too?
Tell me.
I just opened it last night, and it's been on my Kindle for a while. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies.
Oh, I've heard it's a very cozy book.
Yeah, very sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that one, and I think there's 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe be a pioneer for us, Emma. Read it and let me know if you think it should be on the podcast.
When I finished When the Moon Hatched, you were reading
Crowns of Nyaxia.
Is that? I thought you were reading one by Carissa Broadbent.
Isn't that by Carissa Broadbent?
Is that it? That's the one? Is that
Serpent and the Wings of Night.
Okay.
That is Carissa Broadbent.
And that's
the
Broadbent.
First one. The second one is so the duology or the series is the Crowns of Nyaxia series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's where it gets hard.
Yes.
Because they all have names of the series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though there are like duologies and stuff. Yes, that was a good series. That was vampires. I have not read the second duology. I think the second duology's second book, so now it's completed, came out recently. I swallowed down Silver Elite, which I know everyone was blowing up about last week a lot, by the mysterious Danny Francis.
Okay, and why do you think? Tell me your theory.
All right. My theory is that it's Rebecca Yarros because very similar style, very similar structure, similar writing. It is militaristically based. It is truly a romance, the lightest dystopian flavors.
Yeah.
You just enjoy the swept up romance. But then if you zoom out and you're like, wait a minute, this is the world that they're living in. Why are they thinking about, like, I don't know, excuse my French, fucking each other's brains out in this world? But like, that's the point of the story. And so sometimes that's how I felt in certain points in like Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. Like, guys, why is that your priority? There's so much to do. So yeah, that's my theory. Because also, Fourth Wing is unfinished.
Fourth Wing is unfinished?
Yeah, because there's only 3.
Oh, you mean like the
series.
Empyrean series?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I made the same mistake. The Empyrean series. Yeah, like because that's unfinished, if she released a new book of a new series, the internet would go wild.
Oh, you think so? Because she's releasing her like a brand new series. Because she does release her like romance novels.
Yes.
Amidst.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is so close to like another romantasy that I think people would be like, why? Why did you do this instead?
I just get worried about obviously like this genre is so popular, and I think like new and indie authors and stuff kind of just like look at the bestsellers list and they're like, oh, I should write like tropes or like a style like this.
Yes.
And then especially with like the rise of AI and everything.
Yeah, it could have been like a group effort.
And like big publishers and studios and things like are like, okay, what we'd like to order right now is something with dragons and sex.
Yes.
So,
do that.
Yeah. Put it together.
Right.
Have you we just started watching this really funny show last night on Apple TV called The Studio.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's Seth Rogen and he's the new studio head and like it's all famous people just popping in and he wants to make like amazing movies, like artistic movies, and they're like, you can have the job, but you have to make movies that sell.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, I'll do it. And they were like, great, your first movie is gonna be like the Barbie movie. It's Kool-Aid.
Oh God.
You have to make a 3-part Kool-Aid movie.
And the oh yeah guy?
Yeah. And what's the story? Like, make a story about that. Like, do it. And we have to sell 3 movies about this. And it's so funny. And it's like, yeah, that's probably what is going on here. Like, not to like knock anyone's
Disenchanted
work.
or
but you do kind of want to like, I guess, watch out for that a little bit.
Yes.
So yeah, even if it's like not Rebecca Yarros as the pen name, someone who might be following a similar
pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm currently reading The Shield of Sparrows, but yeah, that one's good. I'm halfway through.
Who wrote that one?
Shield of Sparrows is by Devney Perry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I really like her story. That's just in the coat jacket of the book that she was in, like the tech industry for 10 years and was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and started writing books. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Did you see that? You know that Instagram that you like? I like her too. Book Huddle.
Yes.
She wrote a book.
Really?
Yeah. Her actually like. I love this story. On our Instagram we follow obviously a lot of authors because like we're excited about book announcements and like following along and stuff. Yeah. So then I think we get a lot of author content served to our Instagram. And it's actually like really exciting. It's like, wow, you did this big project and you worked really hard for a long time and made this happen. And then Book Huddle is cool because she's also keeping everyone up to date on like her whole like looking for a literary agent and how do you write your pitch and how to like what publisher am I looking at and things like that, and she really wants to do traditional publishing.
I like that.
So I think her story is like fascinating and it's a good follow. And then she also has like a highlight reel of her writing process.
Oh, I love that.
It was really good. Because I wasn't anything like this kind of major, but you like, I guess there's like a one option for writing a book like this, especially like an adventure book or a romance book, is like the 27 beat, where 27 exciting things happen, and you put them at like very specific intervals.
Interesting.
So like the flow is there,
like the pace.
Yeah.
Interesting. Andrew and I both got very into The Will of the Many by Robert Islington.
Okay.
And his next book, The Strength of the Few, is coming out at the end of the year. I really think you and Dave would enjoy reading it together, too. It's high fantasy. There's like a tiny droplet of romance. But it's so well written because it's so nicely paced. And I wonder if he follows a similar... It doesn't feel contrived, is the beautiful thing. But that's interesting. I've never heard of the 27 beat.
Oh, there were so many like this. She went into like all the different ideas, and then I was like, I feel like this is a code. Like I just like love all of this. Do you know who Brandon Sanderson is? I think he writes very famous fantasy books that I have not read yet.
I have heard of his name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you? Oh my God, Andrew. Does Andrew read them, or does he like fantasy? Andrew
loves.
Okay, yeah, because you said he likes Tolkien.
Tolkien is like his number one.
Yeah,
and then we're both Potterheads. We love Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's okay. I think it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah,
yeah. In this writer's theory kind of thread that Book Huddle had, someone had recommended like the Brandon Sanderson. So I started listening to some interviews with him, and he also does this like lovely thing where he goes to his alma mater and teaches just like talks, and people can ask him questions
like a
about,
master class.
Yeah, like writing series. So you can take his class, and then he put them all on YouTube. So I was just like listening to them because I thought it was so interesting. And he has a team so he'll write a book, and then he has a team of people who puts the wiki together. So because he has such big worlds, they'll create the wiki for him, so like he doesn't have to like think about it.
That's great.
Yeah, but he had a lot of different like, if you're doing this kind of story, or if you're doing this story, this is like the kind of pacing, and this is what works, and this is how it works. And then he had a lot of comparisons to like popular movies, or he talks about Tolkien a lot, or Harry Potter a lot. And it was like fun to listen to.
Yeah.
I'm not a writer, and I'm not writing a book, so it's like funny that I was like, oh, this is like my new favorite thing.
Yeah.
But I think like as we're thinking about just books and
you like
stuff,
processes.
I do.
Yeah. You like how things are done.
Yeah.
So that makes total sense. And I love that. And I think that's what our hope is too, right? Is to like explore what other authors are out there that are trying to make a name for themselves and trying to explore this craft. It's totally an art and a craft that needs to be honed.
Yeah. All right, we should.
If
you came here for Silver Flames, sorry.
Yeah, I know. But speaking of Silver Flames, if there's anything we have not talked about, if there are things that you want us to unpack, if you want to share your opinions, your thoughts, please reach out to us on Instagram. We are now Fated Friends Podcast at gmail.com. And let us know what more you'd like to hear from us. And and
if you have any questions about When the Moon Hatched or Crescent City, that'll probably
Crescent
be the next
City,
one.
Yeah.
You'll have to open those, because if you are going to write in about that, please put in the subject line spoilers for Crescent City so I can see them.
Oh, yeah. Not for Emma's eyes.
Just send it to Veronica.
Yeah, for Veronica only.
Okay. So an author reached out to us. Her name is Shelby Oval. And she wrote the third in her series, and the third one is called Emperor's Assassin. It came out on May 14th, and she was open to coming on the pod. Yeah. So we're gonna see if we can figure that out.
Yeah, I want to hear her process. I want to hear, how does one even become an indie author? I'm also really nosy, and I want to know all kinds of fun things, authory things. What is her life like now? Us women connecting with another woman who wants to do something beautiful and creative and passionate.
Yeah, and if you are an author,
reach out to us.